There are just some places on this planet that feel like a punishment, like you got spawned there as part of a side quest you didn't accept. Whether it's the weather, people, or the fact that it feels like a GTA lobby in real life, today we're talking about the worst places to live, and if you're from one of these places, I'm sorry, kinda. Starting it off, we have New York City, but if you're broke. Living in New York City sounds cool until you realize you're paying $3,000 a month to live in a glorified shoebox with a rat that thinks it's your roommate. You want groceries? Yeah, that's gonna be $50 for a bag of grapes. You wanna go outside? Yeah, cool. You'll get hit by a bike messenger and yelled at by someone dressed as Elmo. It's like a giant social experiment to see how long you can survive before snapping. You think you're gonna take the subway to save money? Cute. Now you're underground, it's 200 degrees, a guy's playing the recorder with his nose, and someone's screaming about lizard people. Oh, and the train's delayed indefinitely because someone's pet iguana was loose on the tracks. Again. And you think Central Park is gonna be your escape? No, you've got a toddler screaming, a guy filming a fitness vlog shirtless, and a pigeon that's eyeballing your sandwich. Dating in New York City? Yeah, good luck. Everyone's either a walking podcast or in between projects, which means unemployed with delusion. You match with someone and they ghost you after one date where you paid $19 at a smoothie bar. It's not romance, it's a psyop. And don't even think about having a car here. Parking is a gladiator sport. You'll pay half your rent for a spot the size of a yoga mat and still get towed because of alternate side rules that were probably written during the Revolutionary War. New York City has a lot to offer, but it comes at a price that most cannot pay. And even if you can pay it, the shenanigans that you'll encounter are just too much for some people. But let's say you can put up with the shenanigans, you can afford it. Well, don't think about living here long term, because if you want to have kids or start a family, that's gonna like 10x the amount of money you're gonna have to spend and change the way that you interact with the world. Your kids are gonna be traumatized the moment you step outside. There's gonna be homeless people asking your son for money, overstimulation from cars, loud noises, screaming slurs, and billboards. Things that will definitely take a toll on your offspring. Next up, we have a random desert town with one gas station. You ever drive through a town and think, who actually lives here? Like there's a population of 46 and you see all of them when you stop for gas. It's like 110 degrees, the sun is angry, and there's nothing but dust and people who look like NPCs. Like, you try to ask for directions and they look at you like you're an outsider. I can't name one of these places, but that's because none of them have names. Nobody lives there. They're like these little towns that you stop to pee at during a road trip, but then you realize that there's actual people that decided this is where they want to plant their roots. Imagine going your whole life living in a place that people primarily use as a bathroom and a 5-second stop to get cigarettes before they go to what actually matters, a place where people are actually existing. It is crazy. If it was part of a country I didn't know about, then that makes sense, but in America, why would you literally choose to live in a spot like this? I don't understand. Like, you walk into the gas station and it smells like beef jerky, cigs, and forgotten dreams. There's one worker behind the counter who looks like he's been there since the Reagan administration, and he just stares at you like, we don't get your kind around here. The snack aisle has exactly two options: expired Takis or off-brand gummy worms called Slithery Chews. You check your phone, no signal, not even one little bar. It's like Verizon said, you're on your own, dog. And there's always one rusty diner nearby with a sign that says open, but it hasn't been updated since 1987. You go in, there's like a jukebox playing some old song on loop, 3 old guys sitting at the corner who immediately stop talking when you walk in. Like, bro, I'm not here to uncover your secrets, I just want pancakes. Next up, we got suburban neighborhoods with no personality. You ever drive through a suburb and get sleepy? Everything is beige, all the houses are copy-pasted like a Sims build. HOA rules say you can't breathe too loud or your mailbox gets fined. You look out the window, you just see a kid riding a scooter like it's 2004 and a dad mowing the lawn in jeans. It's peaceful, but in a help me, I'm losing my mind way. Every driveway has the same minivan, the same basketball hoop with a cracked backboard, and a little patch of grass that's exactly 4.2 inches long for HOA compliance. You wave at your neighbor and they wave back like a malfunctioning animatronic, just enough to look alive. And the silence, oh, it's loud. It's not peaceful, it's suspicious. Like, it's the opening scene of a horror movie and nobody knows yet. The most exciting thing that's happened in the past 3 months is when your neighbor's dog got out and made it to the cul-de-sac before being captured by a group of dads with leaf blowers. You know, you always got one neighbor who takes Halloween way too seriously and then vanishes for the rest of the year. And heaven forbid you put your trash bins out past Tuesday morning. You're the talk of the town and you're treated like an outlaw. And don't even think about trying to throw a party here. It'll be over by 9 p.m. because one of your neighbors has work in the morning, but it's like Saturday night. Living in the suburbs is like like being slowly absorbed into a beige void. You don't even realize it's happening, and then one day you wake up and you're arguing about mulch at a town meeting. If you grew up here, it's probably not a problem because you had school to entertain you and, you know, your friends made shit fun, but bro, I can't imagine being an adult in one of these towns. Like, what is there to even do? I feel like I haven't pissed enough people off with this video, so we're gonna name 5 states that I personally do not want to ever live in. Starting off with New Jersey. Okay, it's not all bad, but the bad parts are bad. The traffic is a war zone, the air smells like someone microwaved a tire, and every person you meet either yells at you or tries to sell you something off Craigslist. And it's aggressively expensive for what you're getting. You're paying NYC prices to live next to a turnpike and a landfill. Be serious. Next up, we got Utah. Now listen, it does have beautiful scenery and it's good for skiing, but it comes with weird laws, aggressive dryness, and like 87% of the population has one single haircut. There's no point in going there if you're not skiing or hiking. Next up, we got Nevada. Like, let's be real, Vegas is just Disneyland for people with gambling addictions and zero sleep schedules. You think you're having fun until you realize it's 3 a.m., your debit card's crying, and you've been handed 6 club flyers by a guy wearing an Avengers costume. Casinos are actual soul-eating machines. Like, there's no clocks, no windows, just lights, noise, and old people locked into slot machines like it's the Matrix. And when you leave Vegas, it's just miles of empty desert, gas stations that look like Fallout side quests. There's no middle ground. It's just chaos that will ruin your life for absolutely nothing to do. It's fun if you're at a hotel for a few nights, but I can't imagine living there. Next up, we got Mississippi. This is like the US loading screen for poverty and bad decision. Statistically, the bottom tier in everything. Education, healthcare, income, you name it, they're losing in it. The roads are so bad, your car can get scoliosis. Half the towns feel like they were abandoned mid-Civil War, but there's still people living in them. And the weather, it's like breathing through a wet sock. You walk outside and immediately regret it. Living here is a mix of heat stroke and generational curses. Last but not least, we got California. Now listen, okay, if you live there, I get it. Like, it's cool, but it's like the overhyped main character of the US. You got the aesthetic, the influencers, the coastline, but then reality hits and then you're paying $6 for gas while stepping over human feces outside of a Tesla dealership. California is like dating someone who's hot but who has no personality. It looks amazing until you actually try to live there. Rent is $3.5K for a closet, gas is more expensive than therapy, and you're sharing the sidewalk with a dude vaping meth next to a broken Lime scooter. San Francisco feels like a dystopian tech demo. It's all millionaires and misery. LA is traffic, influencers, and smog. And, you know, you got wildfires up the wazoo, earthquakes. You know, Mother Nature is just farming content. You can have a lot of fun in Cali, but it's going to cost you a lot of money, and if you don't have the money, you have to live in a shitty area, and the shitty areas are rampant in homelessness, drugs, and you name it. Anyway, those are some of the worst places to live. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And if your state got mentioned, I'm so sorry. Don't take it personally. Just kidding. Fuck you. Goodbye.